But they're sending him to fight Geth. Geth. We both know they're not the real threat. The Reapers are still out there.
And it's up to us to stop them.
The Council will never trust Cerberus. They'll never accept our help, even after everything humanity has accomplished. But Shepard, they'll follow him. He's a hero, a bloody icon. But he's just one man. If we lose Shepard, humanity might well follow.
Then see to it that we don't lose him.
The year is 2183. It's been 1 month since the devastating attack on the Citadel. The Council says it was an attempted coup from the Geth who were following orders from a rogue Spectre. But you know better than that now. You know what the Reapers are attempting. You are an aspiring Alliance soldier, hoping to work your way up the ranks to be the best you can be for your fellow crewmates upon the Normandy SR-1, which is led by your hero, Commander Shepard. Seeing the commander and the Normandy crew's sheer willpower to stop the invasion, ultimately wiping out the massive Reaper, is what led you here. You sit on your bunk, exhausted on a fruitless hunt for the remaining Geth that have been suspected in the disappearance of 3 ships that have led you to this small icy planet named Alkera in the Amata star system that sits on the outskirts of the Omega Nebula.
My money's on slavers. The Terminus system is crawling with them.
Picking up something on the long-range scanner.
The crew go about their busy schedule as you get an odd feeling. A flutter in the pit of your stomach as you peer out the porthole window across the vast emptiness and witness a horrific secret the galaxy has kept hidden as a sudden beam of light blinds you.
There's no way a Geth ship could possibly...
It's not the Geth. Brace for evasive maneuvers!
Presley!
Kinetic barriers down! Multiple hull breaches! Weapons offline! Somebody get that fire out!
You're knocked over as the Normandy has just sustained a direct hit. The warning sirens start up as you hear screams in the distance while the ship takes a few more hits. Following protocol, you race to the escape pods with the other able-bodied crew members, passing the massive fires that have broken out along with the few fallen souls. You arrive and are shuttled into one of the pods. As you strap in, another explosion rocks the ship and a horrific scream echoes out. With no time left, all the pods jet out into space as you learn that Shepard is still on board the Normandy trying to convince Joker, the pilot, to abandon ship. Moments later, you see a final cannon beam strike through the ship, causing a massive explosion. You think to yourself how Shepard will escape, as there's no way he'd let something like this take him out, right?
Commander! Shepard!
You see that little dot way down there catching fire? Yeah, that's me, Commander Shepard. You might be wondering how I ended up like this, and it's quite simple really. Just subscribe and go watch the first Mass Effect review. Oh, my time's up. Later, guys. What a way to start Mass Effect 2, like, hot damn, dude. This game doesn't let off the throttle either, so sit tight and let's get into it. Yes, Shepard dies in the first few minutes of the game. Has it been done before? Yes, but did you expect that for this series? Hell no. Anyways, 2 years have passed and you find out you've been saved with the fusion of organic growth and synthetic parts thanks to Cerberus, a humanitarian group whose primary interest is to, well, make humans the top dogs of the galaxy. They go to far and extreme lengths with no stones unturned for any possible lead that would make humans the dominant species. Cerberus only had a small mention back in Mass Effect 1, so it was a good spot of lore to continue story building with some tasty twists through the series. And now you might be wondering how Cerberus was able to afford such lengthy procedures, or completely rebuild a faster, stronger Normandy, rightly dubbed the SR2. Well, they may be a humanitarian type group, but they are anything but humane about it. Filled with greed for dominance, they are funded by multiple corporations and wealthy donors since the group is independently ran, as the Alliance really wants nothing to do with them, along with most others seeing them as a terrorist group for the heinous crimes they've carried out for the sake of humankind.
Wake up, Commander. Shepard, do you hear me? Get out of that bed now. This facility is under attack. Shepard, your scars aren't healed, but I need you to get moving. This facility is under attack. There's a pistol in the locker on the other side of the room. Hurry!
Well, we may not see eye to Robo-Eye, but for now, it's best to put our differences aside and work together to find a way to stop these Reapers. From here, let's jump into some of the plot, crew, and mechanics. Previously, we overcame a great deal for humans by becoming the first Spectre and uncovered the twisted plot of the indoctrinated rogue Spectre, Saren, and stopped his and Sovereign's direct attack on the Citadel. You'd think the other Spectres and higher-ups would believe us by now about the Reapers and all that, right? Wrong. They would totally rather choose to believe that it wasn't all that big of a deal, and labeled it as just an attack from Saren and the Geth, even with a massive Reaper sitting right in front of them. Regardless, they want us to go out and take care of whatever Geth resistance may be out in the stars and ignore anything we warned about in the first game, which sets us up for the amazing intro we just went over. Now working in tandem with Cerberus, we're going to be going through the majority of the game, the meat of the game if you will, which would be collecting our crew in order to take revenge of those who killed us. It's not just that though, it's not actually a revenge mission. Cerberus brought us back to life as they felt we were the most capable to stop the Collectors, as they've been going around every human colony outpost and abducting every single human off of those planets, almost faster than the neck-bearded scalper swarming Walmart and Target for Pokemon cards.
If they're running, I'm running. I'm not getting in that. No fucking way, dude.
You might be wondering why they're doing this. Well, I'm not going to tell you why, so you can enjoy the twists for yourself, and trust me, there's a good amount of them to keep you hooked. Instead, let's focus on the bigger, badder Normandy crew we have. Miranda Lawson, a strong-willed woman whose incredibly wealthy and influential father controlled every aspect of her life until she fled and found Cerberus, believing that the elusive man's goals were rightly justified as she became a devout follower for the freedom she felt Cerberus gave her. Jacob Taylor, a kind yet heated Marine. He's a strong leader for sure, but is quick to make hot choices that need a cool mind. He's joined Cerberus as well, feeling that they were making an actual difference in the galaxy while the Council just sat and twiddled their thumbs. Kasumi Goto, a master thief who can infiltrate into any situation and be out before anybody even realized she was just under their nose. So much so that when Cerberus tried to find her and contact her, they didn't realize she was actually trailing them, and instead reached out about joining the crew. Grunt, a genetically engineered Krogan super soldier. Bred and educated in a tank, he was intended to exemplify the best traits of the Krogan and help reinvigorate his species. However, he seems to seek out more than what was initially intended, and shows a profound thought process and desire to understand more than just the violence. Thane, a Drell assassin rumored to be the most skilled in the galaxy, and despite his profession, Thane is a deeply spiritual man who prays for success in his missions, even asking forgiveness after each kill, going as far as to ignore those in his immediate vicinity until he's finished with his prayer. Jack, also known as Subject Zero to Cerberus, is a notorious criminal and possibly one of the most powerful human biotics alive, and is considered so dangerous that she was kept in cryogenic stasis after she was caught. Legion, a unique Geth mobile platform designed to operate outside the Perseus Veil and interact with organics. To that purpose, it houses 1,183 Geth programs, as opposed to the roughly 100 found in other platforms, enabling it to operate independently and speak. Zahid Masani. He's a feared and powerful mercenary hired by Cerberus to help us. It's noted he founded and led the Blue Suns gang until his partner betrayed him over a disagreement. Samara Omorinth, Samara is a nearly 1,000-year-old Asari Justicar, a member of an ancient monastic order following a strict code of honor for justice, while on the other hand you can at one point instead choose her rather villainous daughter, Omorinth, who's an Arctic Yakshi, an Asari suffering from a very rare genetic disorder which causes her to kill her mates while joining minds with them, which she seems to taking a liking to. Morden Solis, a Solarian geneticist, professor, and a former operative of the Special Tasks Group. His actions are often guided by an impersonal logic, refusing to let his conscience, personal, and emotional connections cloud his judgment of what he truly believes is best in the big picture. We also have two returning beloved characters, Garrus Vakarian, whose sense of duty has led him to leave the Alliance after your death, and with a small crew, hunt down the gangs in Omega. Tali Zora Vasnima, who's continued her work into helping her father learn and understand the Geth to better defeat them on the home front as they plan to eventually take back their planet from the Geth they have created. And lastly, Liara Tassoni, making an epic temporary return with an action-packed side story to uncover dark secrets and some deep knowledge off the ever-looming Shadow Broker. Now onto the mechanics of the game, as they and some other aspects have changed a bit, such as replacing Mass Effect 1's Simon Says minigame with two other memory-based games. They took out the floaty rover and replaced it with this piece that you'll mainly just use on fetch quests that kind of feel like they were designed for a speedrun.
Primary systems online.
The game itself was much less buggy and controls better, even leaning more towards the action-oriented side, and honestly it felt like a perfect match, especially with how much they revved up the story on this. Don't get me wrong, it's still a cover shooter, but the hordes of enemies rushing you in waves gives you more time to experiment with your various abilities and combos with your teammates. I, however, once again got into the sniper rifles, mixing it with the cryo bullets, freezing the baddies, giving me more time to sit back and pluck the others that tried to flank me. You'll mainly go around doing missions to collect your crew, but every time you gain a new member after coming back from a different mission, that member will then need to talk to you about something that they need your help with, and is usually accompanied with a more serious Paragon or Renegade option.
When we cure the genophage, Warlock Gold will rule all Krogan. The Krogan rebellions will—
You talk too much.
See? The human cannot hit a simple target.
I implore you to do these loyalty missions, as not only do they help the main mission later on, these stories are unique to their own person, and you would really be doing an injustice to yourself if missing all this story here. From a Hitman-esque theft mission with Kasumi, a dark and murderous revenge ploy to take out a traitor with Garrus, all the way to helping Grunt know what it means to be a Krogan. These stories range from high action and lots of emotion, to some being more about learning of other species, or leaving you to deal with an interesting take on moral choices, such as Legion's loyalty mission. Now, I'm not going to tread too far into spoiler territory, but a good heads up is to ensure you've gone and done everything you can to gain your crew's loyalty and upgrade your ship before you get near the end of the story, or else you could have devastating results. I'm warning you this once: if you take too long at a certain point, or go through that Omega-4 relay all willy-nilly making quick choices, just know you could be coming back without a good chunk of your crew. But if you do manage to come back and everyone survived, including side crew that you rescued, you feel like such a badass hero, pulling off the impossible suicide mission with no casualties. It's just such a triumphant feeling. You think you'd return a hero. You think all the higher-ups would listen to the only crew who not only successfully navigated the Omega-4 relay that no one has come back from, but stopped the Collectors from continuing their horrific work for the Reapers. Yeah, you'd think, huh? Well, the Council won't be able to ignore it any longer once we get into Mass Effect 3, as the skies start raining fire from the Reaper's onslaught. Mass Effect 2 is a 5 out of 5 for me. Not only does it take the good from Mass Effect 1 and improve upon it, it trims the fat off while injecting this action-packed series with some touching character moments and hefty decision-making. And from what I've played of Mass Effect 3 so far, it seems like 2 is the peak, unfortunately. But we'll get into that on the next review. So, thank you all for watching, and I hope you had a great day, or night.